My car was messing up. I'm going to get this, found me a little car. Nobody wanted to negotiate. It was like nothing was going through. I started getting a little stressed out.
Yeah.
And what you said, Pastor, about life is 10% of the actions we do and 90% of how we deal with those actions. I started thinking about that and what Jason said about seeking first. I said, I don't care, we'll make it happen. Well, today was the first day of Ellie's school. As a dad, that's not something I really want to deal with. She ain't old enough to go to school, I don't think. She's big enough to go to school. She's too little, but it was. She went, she done fine. We were able to take care of the washing machine situation.
All right.
Able to take care of the car situation. If you are a doer of the word, he'll come back on his promises. It's like you said about victory. His word says that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. And every tongue that shall rise up against thee, you shall condemn, for this is the heritage of the servants of God. When you see that word heritage, what does that mean? What does that mean? You know, I look at it from the military, from my heritage of the Air Force. First in, first out, whatever. We're leading from the top. We're leading. This is who you're a part of, the men and women before you. This is telling us in the Bible that every weapon formed against you will not prosper. That you are more than the conqueror through Christ Jesus.
Amen.
But are we going to step out and do it?
Right.
Are we going to step out and do it?
Yeah.
One thing God's been dealing with me about is taking the mask off. He's really been dealing with me because it's so easy to come in here on Sunday morning and Sunday night, raise our hands, pray, thank God for everything He's done for us, and then walk out of here Sunday night and let the world just jump back on us.
Amen.
Show up to work Monday morning and pretend it's Halloween, like I'm a Christian, you know, part of the time.
Yeah.
Come on. It's time for us as Christians to remove that mask.
Amen.
To step up to the game, step up to the plate. If we're going to do this, let's go all in.
Right.
Let's take that challenge. Are we going to do, because why should we do this, Matt? Why should we take a challenge? Because Jesus went all the way to the end. He didn't hold nothing back.
Amen, brother.
He gave up his place in heaven to come down here and die on the cross for us.
Amen.
The Bible says, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us.
Amen.
And, you know, in Isaiah, it says that He was wounded for our transgressions, He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon Him. With His stripes we were healed, or we are healed. It says that He who grows a tender root, He'd be despised, He'd be beaten. But if you go down, I think it's verse 10. It says, but yet it pleased God to see His Son go through this. Come on. Why did it please Him? It's us.
Amen.
It's us. Without that remission of sin, or with our blood, there is no remission of sin.
Amen.
That blood that we don't hear about in churches a lot, you don't sing about it like we used to. What can wash away my sin? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. And I want to just take a minute and thank Him that He made that choice. He went all the way to Calvary. And when life gets hard, when it does, life gets hard and it knocks us in the face. It punches us right in the gut. And we have a chance to run. And I can just imagine Jesus hanging on that cross. And when He, Father, why have You forsaken me? As all the sin, all of our sin was placed upon Him, God had to turn His back to Him. I can just imagine that He could have called for thousands, legions of angels to come and take Him off that cross. But He went through and done it.
Yeah.
I think of some of the old saints, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. From that fiery furnace. How many of us would have went in that fiery furnace? Our David and Goliath. How many of us would have went and believed in the name of the Lord and stood boldly and proclaimed, You come to me with a spear and a sword, but I come to you in the name of the Lord. Would we do it, or would we turn and run like the rest of them?
Right.
Encouraging you tonight. He is with us. Come on. Just like she said, victory in Jesus.
Amen.
I'm a little nervous tonight.
You all right, brother? Amen.
You know, I know Travis and Steve and all these guys come up with these awesome titles. Kind of envious sometimes of that, the way they come up with these titles. Until just a few minutes ago, I didn't even have a title. But that title was completing the trying.
All right.
And if you have your Bibles, Mark chapter 6, we'll start in about verse 34. And Jesus, when he came out, saw much people, and was moved with compassion toward them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things. And when the day was now far spent, the disciples came unto him and said, This is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away, that they may go into the country round about, and to the villages, and buy some themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. He answered and said unto them, Give ye them to eat. And they said unto him, Shall we go and buy 200 penny worth of bread and give them to eat? He said unto them, How many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they say, 5 and 2 fishes. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass. And when they sat down in ranks by hundreds and by 50s, and when he had taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven and blessed and brake the loaves, and gave them to his disciples to set before them, and the 2 fishes divided he among them all. And they did all eat and were filled. When they took up 12 baskets full of the fragments and all the fishes, and there did eat of the loaves were about 5,000 men. Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. I just want to thank you for this day, Father, Lord. Lord, I pray right now that you hide me behind the cross, Father, Lord God. Lord, I give you my hands, I give you my mouth, I give you my everything, Father. Have your will in this service, Father, Lord God. Don't allow me to say nothing that you don't want said, but only say what you need, Father. Holy Spirit, you're welcome in this place. Have your will in this service. In Jesus' most precious name. Amen. That little passage of verse, I realize there's 4 types of people in there. The one, the easy one, is the people. These people, it says, are like sheep walking astray. How many of us look out into the world, we're like, those are like sheep walking astray. They're confused. They have no leadership. They're looking for direction. They're hungry. They're starving. They're wanting something. And they're just walking. Come on. They're just walking. We see these people every day. We work with these people every day. We shake their hands at Food City every day. But they're there. The other one is the next group is the disciples. The very men who followed and walked alongside Jesus told him to tell these people to leave. How many times as Christians do we tell the people who are walking around lost to leave? Instead of bringing them and telling them what they need to hear. We tell them to leave. Why as Christians do we do that? Is it a pride thing? Or is it because we have become blinded and think we're so self-righteous that we're good, we don't need to help nobody else? Why do we do that? Why did the disciples do that? Were they really looking at these people saying they're hungry, they need, oh, you're in a desert place, there might be some kind of coyote or animal they're going to be walking to? Or was it because it was an inconvenience to them? I think it was an inconvenience to them. Come on. Because they said, you need to tell them to go. If it wasn't an inconvenience, they would have been up there trying to help. But they were looking for an excuse to get these people out of their way.
Amen.
The third person in this story, which is John, it talks a bit more about him. It said a lad had 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And it was his lunch. I expect this kid to be between 8 and 15, but he might be older. I'm just speculating. But I could see this boy, and they say, we need your food. Well, Mama told me not to talk to strangers. I don't think so. I don't read that. I read that we have the 5 loaves and 2 fishes from this lad. So I see this kid. I don't know what God can do. I have this much, but I'm giving it to him. I'm giving it to him to do something with it.
Yes, sir.
He didn't hold 1 fish and 1 loaf back in track. He gave it all. Even though it was little, he gave it. And the last one in this story is Jesus. Jesus knew who he was. He knew what he was sent here to do. He was not ashamed of who he was. And y'all read that. He was real nervous and backwards and didn't want to get involved, right? Because don't the Bible say, it says, be careful for nothing, but in everything with prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. It says not to be worried about it, not to be scared about it, but with prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving. It says right here, he took it, he thanked God, and blessed God. When we're going through situations that seems hopeless, and we have 5 loaves and we got 5,000 people, are we fussing, complaining? Are we thanking God that we're in this situation? What are we doing? What are we doing? But it says he took those and they fed every man there, 5,000, but don't say women and children. I'm sure there was some there. Daddy's don't leave little girls and boys sitting around. And but those people, did you notice they didn't have any food? They didn't have any water, no protection. They didn't care. They wanted to be there. People wanted to be there. Jesus knew who he was. Talk about a triangle. In this one story we see, first, Jesus being God. He took charge. You had God taking charge. This little boy had a job to do. We don't talk about that little boy, but he had a job to do.
Oh, yeah.
He had to step out and say, if I give my food to this guy, I might not eat. But he was willing to make that sacrifice for the better. He made that sacrifice, and he was obedient. When they said, give it to us, he gave it to us.
Yeah.
He used the resources that God gave him.
Amen.
Too many times God give us the resources. God's up here. He give us the power. He said, no weapon formed against you will prosper. I've given you everything you need. I will never leave you or forsake you. And I'm right here. I've got you down here. I've got your resources, but we never make the connection. We never complete the trying. Why is it we never complete the trying? Is it because we're afraid, first, on this line, but we don't believe that God can do what he says he can do?
Amen.
Most of us who are Christians will say, I believe God in his word and I can take it. He'll do what he said he'll do. But most non-Christians say, I believe in God. Come on. Most non-Christians say, I believe in God. What about you? You know, you got a dot here for God. You got a dot right here that is us. This one right here was something I struggled with. I didn't think I was good enough. I personally did not think I was good enough to work for God. I didn't know who I was. How many of us do not know who we are? How many of us forget who we are?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you who you are tonight.
All right.
I'm going to clear this dot up, because most of us would agree that God can do what he wants to do, right?
Amen.
We'd agree with that one. I'm going to clear this one up right here. John chapter 1 verse 12 says, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the very sons of God, even to the one that believe on him. What is it? The sons of God. Sons and daughters of God. What do you got to do? Believe on him. He gave the power. 1 John 3:1 says, behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. There it is again. Sons of God. Romans chapter 8. I'm going to actually do a little bit of reading out of this one. We'll start in verse 10. It says, and if Christ be in you, the body is dead because of sin. But the Spirit is life because of righteousness. But if the Spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead, now everybody pay attention to this one. If the Spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwells in you. Dwells in you. You don't say dwells in Pastor Willie or Pastor Travis only on Sunday. Dwells in you. You. You can read that. But if the Spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwells in me, because I'm the one reading. Me. He that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his Spirit that dwelleth in you.
Oh, yeah.
Skip down to 14. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. For you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the Spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit. Everybody say Spirit.
Spirit.
The Spirit itself beareth witnesses with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. That is saying, if you have accepted Jesus Christ, you have accepted Jesus Christ, you're a child of God. You have the same Spirit, the same power that raised Christ from the dead is living in you. Come on. So what God has told you, I want you to do this, Travis. I want you to go here. He may say, Dad, I need you to go to this person. I don't know about that. I've told you to do it. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is leading and guiding you. I'm living. You're my son. I have a job for you.
Amen.
I have a job for you. Now, the next part is the resources. The resources. And the best way I can explain this, in the military, commander, president says, or colonels come down and say, hey, we're going to send you overseas. You're going to get a piece of paper and it's going to say, Matt, blah, 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 you're going here on this date, and here's how much you're going to get paid, and blah, you know. Okay. I got to trust my leadership that they've already got the plan in place. I'm just doing my thing. I got to trust my leadership. Here I am here. But I also got to believe that they've got the resources for me set in place.
Yeah.
They may even give me a resource that I would have been trained up on. I should have been trained, but maybe they didn't have time to give me some. And you know, a lot of video gaming, I'm going to pick on there for a second, PUBG champion of the world. The AR-15, the M4, which you see a lot of military movies, the M4, the M16, it messes up so much that they teach you, not in case it messes up, but how to fix it when it goes down. They teach you sports. And, you know, I got pretty good at it. You see some of the younger guys, they'll shoot, it's broken, they'll start whining. For me, I've used it enough. Eric, you probably use it, that when you're shooting and it makes a noise, you slap it, you pull, you look, you turn, you observe, you release, you slap it, you shoot again. You can do it while walking. It ain't no big deal. You just do it. It's natural. Because we're comfortable with the resource He gives us.
Amen. There you go.
We're comfortable with the resource He gives us.
Good job. Amen. Good proof.
Joint heirs of God. Heirs of God, joint heirs of Christ. If I'm not mistaken, He said, greater works than these that you've seen me do, you can do.
Yeah, you did.
Why can't we do it? Why ain't it happening? I believe we've got the line between us and God, but we don't have the line between us and the resources. We are not equipped to do the work that God has given us to, because He's given it to us, but we haven't connected the triangle. That's the reason we ain't getting the results. That's the reason people ain't running into the churches, because we as Christians, we're scared. We're scared. College football player, high school football players, I'm a big time college guy, college football, y'all know this. But they'll look at him, let's say you're a star wide receiver like Doug, massive wide receiver. Come up and you say, I'm going to college, I got all these colleges want me, Alabama, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, my final three. They're going to look at it, what's your goal? I want to win a national championship. They're going to say, all three of these have tradition. All three of these schools have tradition. So up here, they're good. Right down here, I can make these teams better. I can do that. But what resources does that college provide? Well, Virginia Tech's been a mediocre team the last couple of years. Tennessee's been below average, if even put them in that sentence. Amen. But Alabama has won and won and won and won and won. If I want a national championship, what am I going to do? I'm going to Alabama. Because the resources are in place and I can tap into that resource and connect that triangle to get my goal, which is a national championship. Which is what I want. We have no excuse not to trust Him. We all said we believe that God can do what He says, right? Amen. We all said that. Too many times as Christians, we look at our resources and make excuses. Come on, man. The disciples made an excuse in that story. They made an excuse. We can't do this. There's too many. There's too many people out here who are hurting. There's too many people out here that need this. I'm only one person. Yeah, you are only one person, but here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. Together as the body of Christ, which a lot of people out here, the body of Christ is the four walls around us. The body of Christ is what? The believers. But Jesus Christ is our head. The body of Christ coming together, working together. The resources are there. I know they're there. Mark chapter 12, verse 41. And Jesus sat over against the treasury, and behold, and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury. And many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which makes a farthing. And He called unto them His disciples, and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, this poor widow hath cast more than all they which have cast into the treasury. For all they did cast in all their abundance, But she of her want, did cast in all that she had, even all her good. She wanted to.
Yes, sir.
These other ones felt like they did it out of necessity. How many times do we as church feel like our Christians come to church out of necessity? If I don't come, somebody's going to talk about it. If I don't come, well, then they're going to preach over me. If I don't come, they're going to talk about my family. If I don't come, I'm going to catch up on the gossip. Out of necessity, I'm here, not because of want. Why is it that we as Christians come here to gossip? Why is it we come here to try to pick on somebody? Or why is it we come here to do this? When I read the Bible, says one thing that God hates is a proud look. Why is the world mad at Christians right now? You talk to people who work in retail. Talk to them who work in retail. They'll say Sundays, I hate it because that's when God's people come in. Why? Why? The way I see it, no man can save himself. Without the shedding of blood and the remission of sins, lest no man should boast. The way I read it. Lest no man should boast. But this woman gave all she had. It was minute. Now, a lot of people preach this on tithes and offerings. I've heard it. You give what you got, we'll take what you got. I ain't talking about that. I am talking about, all right, I'll be honest. Sometimes you work, you've got families, you're busy. You say, God, if you just give me a job where I can work at the church, I'll stay in your word 8 hours a day. There's people who get paid to do that. That's what I want. I'll give you 8 hours. We're hearing something about these people giving money. I don't want that. I want what you can give me because you want to give it to me. When you're tired, when you've been beaten down, when you lost that loved one, but yet you still choose to believe that I'm with you, that I'll never forsake you. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want you when you're hurting. You know, just like my dad's right here. I can call him. If I just call him and say, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, and then he calls me and I don't answer, hey, Dad, I need this, I need you to come and do this. There's going to be, the first time he says he can't do something, what happens to me? I get mad. Right? So, how come we as Christians, we say, God, I need this, God, I need this, God, I need this, God, I need this, and when it don't happen overnight, he ain't real. We push him to the side. Why do we do that? He's wanting a relationship with each and every one of us. As me and my dad are pretty close. We are very close. And that, it says right here, is children of God. I couldn't imagine him that he didn't talk. Now look at it from Dad's point of view. You know, if I didn't speak to him, I hope it would hurt him. I think it would. What about God? What about your Father? What if you don't take the time to speak to him? You think it hurts him? I think. When Adam and Eve sinned, they ran from him. They ran and hid, thinking that God Almighty, who created him out of the dust of the earth, couldn't find him. But he come calling for him.
Yes, he did.
He come calling for him. And the New Testament here, he come boldly before the throne of grace. But I can just imagine Adam and Eve. He won't find me if I'm here. And kneeling down and hiding. And God's like, I see you. I know what you did. But come to me and talk to me. Come to me and talk to me.
Yes, sir.
He didn't beat him over the head with a stick.
Right.
He didn't. God measures giving not by the amount, but by the love behind the amount, the generosity, and the sacrifice represented by that gift. This story can be applied to our relationship with Him. He looks not at our lives at the quantity, but the quality that we give to Him. The quality of our giving, the quality of our time, the quality of our worship. Are we only giving it to Him when we need Him? It seemed like so much. 5 loaves, 2 fishes. It seemed like so little. It seemed like so little. 2 mites, which I looked it up in every translation I could find, they had something, but apparently the one that was the most was there was an eighth of a denarius, an eighth of a day's pay. So it don't sound like it was much, but she gave it willingly. You may feel like tonight, I ain't got nothing. Or maybe I got just a little bit of knowledge. Maybe I got just a little bit of faith. Maybe I got. He's willing to use that. Come on. If you will be faithful over the few things, over the few things.
All right, brother.
In Exodus chapter 4, he asked Moses, said, what do you got in your hand? He threw his staff down on he said, I got my staff. He threw it down. It turned into a snake. He said, now pick it up. He picked it up out of town and back to a staff. Pretty cool. He did it in front of Pharaoh. Pretty cool again. One of the magicians over in Egypt trying to copycat it. Moses' snake eat it. A lot cooler. But that one staff that turned into a snake also was held out and made the Red Sea part. Just because you have something that worked for this way one time, it may work some way completely different.
Oh, yeah.
David had 5 stones and a sling. 5 stones and a sling. And he took down the giant. And I like that when you go back, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that's rise up you shall condemn. He managed to cut Goliath's head off with Goliath's own sword. To me, that's cool. I like that. Paul and Silas, they had so little, all they had was their voices, because they were chained up in the jail cell, chained up, been beaten, but yet they took what they had, which was little, and started singing praises in the midnight hour. The jail cell shook, and they were free, and the jailer and his entire family were saved.
Amen.
That's the part we forget. Oh yeah, the jail fell. No, the jailer and his family were saved. Peter and John walking. The man said, help me, I need money. They said, silver and gold I don't have, but that I do have, I give to thee freely in the name of Jesus. Rise up and walk. They knew. They used the resources they had. David used his stones. Paul and Silas used their voices. And Moses used his staff. What is it that we are hiding from God, or he has given us that we're keeping? I'm not thinking. What are the resources that we have? Well, when it comes to an offensive weapon, you look in Ephesians. What is the only offensive weapon in the armor of God? When it talks about it? The Word of God, which is the sword of the Spirit. That's all it says. That's a resource. Our family, our church families are resources. Our voice, Paul and Silas proved that our voice is a resource. The Holy Spirit is a resource. That Spirit that said, I bear witness with your spirit that you're the Son of God. That said, the same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is living in you. That is a resource that some of us are afraid to use. Jesus said he'd never leave us or forsake us. And for me, and a lot of people looking at me, our past is a resource that we have to help someone. Our past, our defeats, our losses, the stuff that's been bad in our life is a resource that we have to help someone. What is our excuse? Why are we not living in the calling? Is it because we don't believe in this part of the triangle that God can do His Word? Is it because we don't believe we're worthy and don't believe in ourselves? Or is it because we don't think what He's given us is good enough? Are we afraid to get into it and read it on a daily basis? This is the best resource, the Word of God. I used to thought if I come to church on Sunday, I could get it from Woody. I was wrong. I thought growing up under Dad, when Daddy would quote it to me, I was wrong, because that helped me, hearing by the Word of God, but getting into it and reading it, and getting into it and studying the Word has been the best resource for me. Trust in God. Trust in the Spirit that's inside of you. And use the stuff He's given you. Whether it be good, bad, use the Word, use your past. And you can fulfill your calling. You can have victory, whether it's a test in school. God said to study. I studied, and the resources they give me were the textbooks, and I put them together, and I scored 100. Or I passed that test. I feel like God's called me.
All right.
His Word said He'd never leave me or forsake me. He's called me. And I'm putting that training that I'm getting to sit under. I'm putting that training in His Word, that resource.
There you go.
And I'm completing that triangle. The triangle is solid. But if we don't have this bottom part and use the very resources that He gives us, it's nothing but straight lines down, and if you notice, they'll never touch. They'll go further and further away. The resources and the talents He gives us and us will go further and further to what we'll be able to reach more. So I encourage you tonight, trust God, trust in the Spirit, the Spirit inside of you, and use those resources He's given you. Amen.
was pretty talented.
All right.
I'm trying to get to be an honorary member. This for a week, but praise God for the word, man. Thank you for setting out.
Amen.
Before we do our license, we'll open up the altar. And thank you for coming back on this in prayer. You need to strengthen your faith or unsure about your resources. You can find it here through prayer.
Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you tonight to thank you, Father, Lord God, that you said you would never leave us or forsake us, Father.
Amen.
You go with us even to the very end of the earth and the world, Father.
Amen.
Lord, we want to thank you right now, Father, Lord, for your Son Jesus,
Oh, yeah.
who came to show us the way, who died on the cross, and rose again and is sitting on the right hand of the Father right now making intercession. Lord, we thank you, Father. He endured the cross for us.
Oh, yeah.
And Lord, right now, Lord, we just want to thank you, Lord, and put you, Lord, to give you all the praise and all the glory and all the honor, Lord.
Yeah.
Lord, we want to thank you, Lord, for your spirit, Lord, that you've allowed us to become sons and daughters of you. And Lord, we want to thank you for the resources, for the tools that you've given us, Lord, to go out and make disciples. As Mark chapter 16 says, Father, go out to all the world to make disciples and preach, Father. Lord, right now, Lord, I just want to thank you, Father, Lord, for all gathered here. Lord, you lift us up. Lord, you let us keep our eyes on you. As Paul said, Father, Lord, for me to live is Christ, but to die is gain. Lord, let us live our life in that manner. We're not scared. We're not ashamed. We're not scared to step out. We're not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Lord, let us step out boldly as individuals, as a church, Father, Lord, and as a body of Christ with other local churches around this community, around this state, and around this country, Father, Lord. Lord, I want to thank you, Father, Lord God, for your word. I want to thank you for your promises, Father, Lord. Lord, I just ask, Father, that you go with us, Lord. That you go with us, Father. In Jesus' most precious